Hey, everybody. It is Kimberly Eichelle, and I know you see a different background tonight, but don't even worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'm just trying to adjust and find better ways to speak with you all. So it's just going to get better and better. But in the meantime, we are here. It is Thursday night, and I am so glad to be speaking with each and every one of you. So come on in the room. Come on in the room. Let me know where you are watching from tonight. And grab a friend. I say, come on in, bring a friend. Make sure there's some people watching on tonight with you because we are going to have a conversation with a great individual tonight. I already feel good, y'all. It's been challenging today. I'm not going to lie. I have tried to set up 3 different setups to bring this to you. But one day I'm going to have sponsorship and donations pouring in so I could come to you live from a studio. Okay. I won't have to do all the work by myself. That's what I'm saying. So again, thank you. Again, drop your name and where you're from in the comments. I want to thank those that are watching on YouTube and that are watching here on Facebook. And also shout out to my Vegas Praise family. If you all have not been listening to Vegas Praise, make sure you download the app for some great music, great teachings, great things on Vegas Praise. That's my new family, y'all. I'm excited. If you didn't know, I come on there twice a week. So tune in. Tune in. Go ahead and download the app. Now, let me just say, last Thursday was what? 4th of July, right? So y'all was probably somewhere eating barbecue and all of those things, and that's fine. But we had a game night. And if you missed it, you missed it. I want to give a shout out to my girls. Latoya French joined me from Texas. That's my friend, y'all. Let me just tell you. And then I also had the podcast guru, Danny Marie, join me. And it was so good. I tell you, she took over last week. So if you missed it, I'm going to rebroadcast it for those of you who missed it. But if you don't want to wait for the rebroadcast, then go ahead and go on my page and make sure that you are watching. Now, let me tell y'all about this gentleman that I have tonight. I was supposed to have he and his wife, but they got some things going. But Neil's, I wasn't supposed to tell y'all the name yet. Okay, anyhow, he is joining me tonight, and I am so excited. I see Isaac here. He said, hey, Isaac, thank you for joining in tonight. Make sure you stay tuned. Tell a friend because I want y'all in here talking and asking questions. We want to interact tonight. So thank you, Isaac, for watching. And where you watching from? Tell me, okay? With that being said, let me tell you all about tonight's guest. I'm excited. Okay. I met this gentleman a few years ago. Actually, it was during a transition period of my life. I was working a job and things kind of ended, not just for me, for the whole company without any type of notice. They called us one day and said, today is everybody's last day. We shut in the doors. Who does that? But with that being said, I ended up in another location, and that's where I met this gentleman. And things just come full circle the way they're supposed to do. So anyway, with that being said, let me read you his bio, okay? His name is Niels Antonio Williams. He's an award winning screenplay writer, actor, and novelist, currently known for the acclaimed film Stay, directed by Helene Alabi Williams. Antonio has self published four novels to date and has several screenplays in development. He has also won Best Screenplay for the film Stay at the 2018 Las Vegas Black Festival. I believe that's Miss Michelle, so shout out to her as well. Antonio has written the teleplay for African Twist Season 1, which you all need to find out more about. And he's been nominated for Best Screenplay Drama at the 14th Annual Indie Series Award. So y'all wanna tune in. I'm telling you, you want to keep watching because I'm about to bring up Niels Williams. But before that, let's see. Isaac said that he is, oh, you watching from Hampton, Virginia. Shout out to you, Isaac. Thank you so much for tuning in all the way from the East Coast. I appreciate it. That means it's late there. You know what I'm saying? So it's love that you tuned in to watch on tonight. So I appreciate you. With that being said, y'all, I am going to go ahead and play this open. And the next space after my open that you'll see is Mr. Niels Antonio Williams. Stay tuned. You're watching Talented Thursdays.
I don't think they're ready for this. You know what time it is? It's about that time of the week to showcase what you got. The talent that we have, it's a whole lot. You can sing, you can dance, you can rap, you can write. It doesn't matter. You know what time it is? Put your hands in the sky and wave them side to side if you feel alive. It's Talented Thursday with Kimberly Eichelle. Let's go.
Let's go. Let's go. Talented Thursdays. So, again, I am super excited to bring to you, let's see, screenwriter, author, novelist, actor, producer, so many things. Please welcome my guest, Mr. Niels Antonio Williams. Hey, hey.
Hey, thank you so
Hey,
much for that
Niels.
intro. That was a lot. Thank you. I'm like, is that really me?
It's you. And I'm grateful to have you on tonight. As I told you earlier, thank you for your yes. I truly appreciate you coming in and talking with me. I was telling the audience that we met a while back, but it's
hmm
something about God where he just brings things full circle when it's time and
Yeah,
it's of the right season, right? So I'm happy to have you on tonight.
absolutely. I'm happy to be here. Thank you so much for inviting me, Kimberly. I really appreciate it.
Absolutely, absolutely. So let's dive in. Let's dive in. Let's find out who, let's see, which do you prefer tonight, Niels or Antonio? Whichever one you say, I'm gonna bounce back and forth. I'm just gonna be honest.
That's fine. I mean, whichever one you feel most comfortable with. I mean, I typically go by, well, lately, let me say lately, as of what, like 2020, I've gone by Antonio. It's just something I just felt would be a good name, like an on-screen name. You know, celebrities have their stage name or their on-screen name. You know, like
Right,
Jamie Foxx isn't really Jamie Foxx. You know, so
exactly.
so yeah, so I thought something different. You know, Antonio Williams had a nice little ring to it. So
I
yeah,
like it.
you
I
can feel
do.
free.
I do.
Yeah.
Yes, Antonio Williams is great. That's where Kimberly Eichelle comes from. Eichelle is not my last name. It's my artist name as well. So I
Okay.
totally get it. And like you said with Jamie Foxx, we know he's Eric Bishop. But Jamie
Right.
Foxx fits him so much better, right?
Yes. Absolutely.
Yes, indeed. So Niels or Antonio, tell me where you grew up.
So I grew up in St. Louis, Missouri. I was living there for 23 years before I moved out here to Las Vegas.
Okay, okay. And what was it like growing up in St. Louis? Shout out to the Lou.
Yeah, I know, right? It was okay. It was pretty. I mean, I don't know how to just explain it because as someone living in it and growing up in it, it may be a different experience from someone that's like moving there or visiting there. But For me, it was an okay experience. I had a lot of close, people I was close with, had great family members that I grew up with, and a lot of them are still there, so I get to visit them often when I go see them. But yeah, it's a great place. One of the places that has a free zoo. Not many places in the United States has a free zoo, so it's definitely a really nice place to be.
Absolutely, absolutely. That's great. We have some comments rolling in, and I want to get to some of them. I have Latoya French. Latoya joined me last week. She played the game that we did for the 4th of July, and she's saying, hey, hey, Latoya out there in Dallas. Danny Marie is watching. She is one of the podcast gurus. That's what I call her. And also my sister, she says she's shopping and watching. And she also said the intro is fire. So thank you so much. Jamal Moore, who is here in Las Vegas, said that intro was fire. Thank you, Molly. That is one of the first people that I met when I moved to Las Vegas. And we talked about connections earlier,
Hmm.
Niels, and Jamal has been a blessing to my life. Let me just tell you that. So it's good to have great people in your corner. And then
Hmm.
I also have Angelica watching. Angelica is in Washington, and she said "Laughing Out Loud" and my daughter's stage name. Angelica and I have been friends since we were kids. And with that being said, she gave her daughter my middle name. So I am so grateful for that. My sister and my friend Angelica and Jamal said, "Hey, buddy. Hey, buddy." Awesome. Awesome. So let's get back. Let's get back. So were you a child that was always interested in the arts? And if so, how was that gift nurtured for you?
Yeah, I was definitely more into arts. While a lot of people that I grew up with, my family members, just a lot of male figures around me, they were more into sports. St. Louis is very heavily into sports, with the
Mm,
sports team and everything that they got going on out there. They're very into it. So for me, growing up was a little bit different and I was kind of looked at a little differently because I
mm-hmm,
was, so much into sports. I was always into the arts and the crafts and that. I always loved writing in the first place. Writing was like my first love. Uh,
mm,
when I started like back in elementary school, and we would get like these creative writing tasks to do to create random stories out of like a picture or something. And I couldn't wait for those moments because I got to like be creative and come up with something. And because I read so much books, I already kind of had this idea of how you should write or how like writing should be. So I just always had
nice.
that love of creating stories, and it just grew with me. So yeah.
I love that. I love that. And I love that in the midst of where you said people were so much alike, like you said, they were into the sports and things like that, you still dared to be different. You know what I'm saying? Your gift was different and you found what you loved and tapped into it versus tapping into what everyone else was doing at the time or what they thought was cool at the time. So I think that's great. How did your parents support you through that? So you wanted to be a writer and things like that. How did they support you at that time?
My mom, she was a single mother, so she, raised myself and my sister, and she was always my biggest fan. She always supported me in anything that I did. So whether it was writing, if I wanted to try to be a singer, which that didn't work out well, but whatever
Okay.
it is I wanted to do, she was very supportive about it, and she loved my writing. I wrote books, I wrote short stories, I would write songs, and
Mm,
she was, it's not just that like one of those, oh, she's your mom, she's gonna like whatever it is you do anyway. It was,
right, right.
I believe it wasn't just that, but I think she just really believed in me and what I was doing, and really felt that there was something there with my writing. So it really helped me a lot to have her as well as other family members, support me in this process or in this endeavor.
I think that's great. That's great. It's always great to have someone in your corner. For some people, it's their parents. You know, for me, it was my mom as well. And I was raised in a single parent home as well. You know, so it's a blessing to have parents that support you. But sometimes the parent does not support the child's dream. You know what I'm saying? It's
Mhm.
like, you know, if you wanted to be in the arts and then your mom's like, no, I want you to be a doctor, you know. And so
Mhm.
I think it's important to let children develop into who they want to become, you know, naturally, a gift, to let them develop that gift, because I believe that the things that are inside of us, our passions and things like that, come from above. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? So it's a blessing that that was not stifled, and that it was, you were allowed to be creative in that time period, you know, because I believe it helped shape who you are today.
Mhm. Yeah.
So let's go. Let's see. So I want to know, you said that you discovered, you know, that you wanted to be a writer at a young age. You said you were in elementary school, correct?
Right. Right.
Okay, okay. So with that being said, do you remember one of your first stories?
I wish I did. Actually, well, vaguely remember. I don't know if you remember those Goosebumps books.
Uh-huh.
As a kid, we had. I used to read those a lot. I used to love those. There was like this. I don't want to say knockoff version of it, but it was very similar to Goosebumps, which was called Fear Street books. I used to read as well.
Mm-hmm.
Uh, and one of these that stayed in my mind was my teacher would put up this picture of this house. It looked like a creepy house on a hill, and she put it up on
Okay.
a board, and she was like, "Just write a story, create a story based off of this house," and that was it. That was all
Wow.
the assignment was. So I wrote
Mm-hmm.
the short story, and I was inspired by the Goosebumps and Fear Street books that I would read, and I would write in that manner. And it got a lot of praise for the way that it was written, and we had to read it out loud too. So whenever I write, I realize that even at that age, that when I write, I put my emotions into it, and I put a lot of just emotions that's into the characters that I'm writing. So even
Mm-hmm.
when I read it out loud, I wanted to convey that too, and I read it out loud to my classmates, and from there, I just fell in love with storytelling. Yeah.
Wow. That is awesome. It's awesome. I'm going back to the comments just briefly. I have Jamal. He said, I visited St. Louis. I did a road trip from Las Vegas to St. Louis. Very interesting city. I enjoyed my time there. The museums and the arts really inspired me to dream more. So that's a great thing. I also have Estella Johns. She is from Washington as well. She said, hello, sis. Hello, hello. Jamal again said, it's awesome when parents nurture their child's gifts. And I truly believe that as well. You know, I do remember, like you said, the Goosebumps books and things
Mhm.
like that. And I always enjoyed writing as well when I was younger, and still today, you know, I enjoy writing. I believe that writing helps you express so many things, you
Yeah.
know. So sometimes I might write a poem. There are times that I may write a song. And there are times that I've even written short stories. I haven't done anything with them as of yet, but they are, you know, written and things like that. And so those are things that I enjoy. But when I was younger, I remember for me, it was the books where you can choose your own ending. I don't know if you remember
I
those.
love those.
You
Yes.
remember those?
Yeah.
Yes, those were so much fun for me to read because, you know, you could turn to page 20 and it was one thing, you know, it would take you on one adventure. And then you can turn to another page and it would take you to another adventure, you know.
Mhm.
And so reading and writing is so important, even in the development of imagination and things like that for a child, you know, because there are so many places that you can go, even if you're just sitting at home in St. Louis, or as for me, sitting at home in Washington State at that time. You know what I'm saying? So,
Right.
so I think that's pretty cool. I think that's cool. So let me move forward. You and your wife's work goes hand in hand, right? You're
Mhm.
one of the power couples in the entertainment industry. Tell me how you met your wife and when you knew that she was the one.
I met her actually here in Las Vegas.
Okay.
Um, so I was actually wanting or planning to turn one of my books into a movie with someone that I was working with at the time. It didn't happen, but by God's grace, I will eventually make that into a movie. But at the time, that's what I was working on. At the same time, of course, I still have to make money. I was working with my mother, who had like a behavioral health company.
Okay.
Um, so it so happened that she had a friend who's Nigerian who works for her, and her mom or my mom asked me to deliver a check to her. So I go
Okay.
to deliver the check to her, and she's like, "Hey, are you single?" And I'm like, "Yeah." Why? I'm thinking she's asking for herself. I'm
Uh-huh.
thinking she's like interested or something. I'm like, "Okay, where is this going?" But
Right.
it's like, just stay there. I got someone I want you to meet.
Hmm.
So she calls her friend, and her, like, I don't know, maybe 10, 15 minutes later, she shows up in this car, and like she just comes out of the car, and like behold this woman that's now my wife.
Right.
And I'm like, okay, what is happening? And she's like, hey, this is Helen. Helen, this is Tony's son, Niels. So, you two should exchange numbers, get to know each other. You guys are going to figure it out, And, it
Right.
was awkward, but, from there, we just like surprisingly really hit it off. Um, she was very into writing as well. She was writing a book herself, and she also happened to be an actress when she was in Nigeria before she came to America. She was getting into acting,
Wow.
and I was telling her, "Hey, well, I'm planning on turning a book into a movie, so I'm getting my feet wet into the in the film industry."
Right.
And we just kind of just clicked from there, and really had a lot of to we had a lot in common, and we just really had a great spark. And to the question of how do I know she was the one,
Hmm.
um, I think it was just the way that she was just so calm with me, and like she had this nurturing spirit. Like I feel like it doesn't take long for someone to know if that person is right for you. That's how I
Hmm.
feel. That when you know, and
Yes.
like it was only just within like maybe 3 weeks before I
Oh,
proposed.
wow.
Yeah, just 3 weeks of meeting her, I proposed to her. But I knew that she was the one when she, like, was helping me to understand myself, and in a way that I never thought of, myself. And I realized, like, this woman would make a great mother of my kids, aside from, and of course, a lifetime partner. So I decided to take that leap of faith, propose to her. Surprisingly, she said yes. And
Yes.
the rest is history.
Oh my goodness. What a beautiful story. And like you said, when
Mhm.
and I think that's so awesome. And shout out to the matchmaker, whoever the matchmaker was,
Mhm.
because obviously she saw something in Helen and something in you as well that she knew would work. So I think that's beautiful. And for her to be in the same industry that you were in, writing and acting and, sharing the things that you love. So tell me, what is it like to work with each other today? You all have a show that we'll talk about soon, but tell
Mhm.
me what it's like to work with your wife.
I love it, really. To be honest, I really love working with her. She's my best friend. So we're both creative heads. So we're always bouncing ideas off of each other,
Hmm.
and oftentimes we can't switch off. Let me say that it's hard to switch off because we're so creative. We're always
Hmm.
finding a story in something, whether it's a car ride, somewhere. We're always having conversations that turn into, what, this would make a great movie, or this would make a great show, and then all of a sudden we're like jotting down notes.
Right,
Um, and even beyond our film career, of course, we still have our 9 to 5s for now until God blesses us with working by ourselves,
right.
working by ourselves. but we even still work together in the same workspace. As you know, we were both in Expedia at the time.
Hmm.
So like we just enjoy each other's company. Of course, we give each other our space and our time. So
Hmm.
so we don't, at least to make sure that we're still alive. Let me say that.
Yes.
Make sure we, you But aside from that, though, we really enjoy each other's company. So it just works, and our chemistry, we just work well together. So yeah.
What a beautiful story. I tell you, I think it's great, that your partner, you and your partner, or you and your wife can work so closely together and show others how it can be done. I believe a lot of times, especially today, when it comes to love and those things, and even Black love, people think that it doesn't exist anymore, or that it has to be this horrible roller coaster. And I
Mhm.
still believe in love. I don't have a husband as of yet, but one day I know God is going to send them. So I can believe through you. Okay. Thank you.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
Yes. Thank you.
and I may get a little scriptural, here, but the Bible says, no one shall lack their mate. So
Mhm.
you will have your mate. Your mate is out there.
Thank
So I
you,
definitely believe
Neil.
that. And it's going to be the same way. It's going to be easy because it's not supposed to be difficult, and when you do find that person, they're going to know. It doesn't, like I said, it doesn't take long. When they know, they know.
That's good stuff. When they know, they know. I'm going to hold on to that nugget. Okay.
Hmm.
Yes. So I want to talk about you as a Christian writer, just a Christian in general. The power of prayer. We talked a little bit earlier, before coming online, and I kind of shared with you some things that God has been doing in my life, and I believe in the power of prayer, and
Yeah.
and I know that you are a believer as well. So tell me, what is one prayer that God has answered for you concerning your career and your dreams? What is a prayer that you put out to God and you had been asking God for, and you know that it was no one but Him that
Mhm.
answered that prayer?
So I definitely would say getting season one of African Twist, our television series African Twist, made and produced. That was definitely a prayer answered. I'll tell you, like when we came up with the story, um, we were actually living in Atlanta at the time. This is
Okay.
before Expedia closed down. We actually moved before that happened. So we moved out to Atlanta to try to build a career in film out there because Atlanta is known as the Black Hollywood.
Hmm.
So that's where we're trying to get our feet into.
Right.
But we weren't really making the connection that we thought we would make. But we did make a great connection with the church, which we still follow online even to date. We're actually even going out there later this month to for a event. But we had that great connection there. So we came up with the story of African Twist at that time, and we had faith and believed that this will get made somehow, some way. It's going to get made. We had this plan to once we're done writing every episode, we were going to take the scripts to the altar and pray over it,
Hmm.
and that's what
Wow.
we did. We finished writing every episode of the season. We took it to church. When church was over, we went to the altar and we prayed over it and said, "God, not our will, but Your will. Let Your will be
Yes.
done." And just breathe on this story and bring whoever it is that is going to help us make this happen. Now, I'm going to tell you this. This is quite a testimony here.
Hmm.
When we even on one of the church services, we both just agreed that this is going to get done. We got this leading in our spirit that something that this was going to get done. Right when we said that, our pastor, now mind you, beforehand we talked to our pastor about our faith and believing in God for our film career, but we weren't expecting him to do this. So in the middle of the service,
Hmm.
he stopped service and called us out, randomly and said, "You and you stand up." And he was like, "I see that you guys are carrying movies. Don't worry about any challenges or anything that's going to come your way. And then from there, he just prophesied over us and was like making a lot of prophetic prayers over us and over our film career. And when I tell you, from there, like the blessings that came with that, you can't tell me God ain't real when
Wow.
prayers are being answered like that. And when the Spirit touches the pastor to encourage us at the
Right.
point where we were like wondering, is this even something we should be doing? But at the right moment, the Spirit just touched the pastor to encourage us. And from there, like we came back to Las Vegas and things just picked up. We got the financing that we needed to make it happen. And then so many people were just such a right fit for the series
Hmm.
that just worked well and gelled together and it just worked out. That is definitely a testament of, prayer working. So I definitely would say that was definitely something where we prayed and it worked. Absolutely.
Wow. Prayer works, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Yes, indeed. So you touched on African twist, and I want you to tell the viewers, for those who may not know what African twist is, or if they have not seen it, tell them about the show that you all created, where they can find it, and also the deeper meaning that's behind it.
Yeah, absolutely. So, what African Twist is, it is based in Las Vegas. The series is based in Las Vegas, and it is a drama comedy blend about these hair braiders in Las Vegas whose lives are turned upside down when this Nigerian immigrant pops into their salon when she's trying to hide from ICE. And she finds herself working there and while she works there, she creates this sisterhood amongst these women in the salon, and come to find that all these women, including her, have a lot of secrets and drama outside of the salon of their own, and we follow
Mhm.
each character and their drama, and it goes from there. It touches on a lot of issues. It touches on mainly the the societal issues like domestic violence, human
Mhm.
trafficking. We talk about a lot of stuff like police, brutality or abuse of power. So we really get into the heart of those pertinent issues that's in the show. We want to raise awareness when we tell this story, and mainly domestic violence is a big one for us because my wife, she has experience first and second hand of domestic violence. Her sisters have gone through it
Mhm.
with their husbands before. So she created the show. Let me say that she did create the show. She brought it to my attention, and we just went from there and put it together. But she really wanted to put that out there and raise awareness about that because it's really important topic, not just in America, but also in Africa as well. It's a lot of that going on. So she wanted to raise awareness of that, and even though we have a lot of drama, a lot of stuff like that going on, we also have a lot of lighter sides as well. So you'll
Mhm.
see a lot of like comedic sides of the series as well. We definitely uh, wanted to have that blend,
Right.
emotions, and a lot of people have said that it kind of reminds them of Desperate Housewives. It has
Okay.
you know has that feel of it, So which is that was definitely a big compliment for us to.
Absolutely. Absolutely. That was a great show. And so, I think it's wonderful that you all decided to touch on such an important issue, and even a lot of times something that's swept under the rug, you
Yeah,
know, and it's a challenge because life seems to go on and the victim is left behind, to
yeah,
pick up the pieces themselves. So I think it's great that you are bringing attention and awareness to things that are still going on and has been going on for a lot of time, for a very long time, and that's something that touches me as well, because that's an area that I worked in as a young person. I worked for a young women's shelter when I lived in Tacoma. And so I have also been able to see victims of domestic violence and how it affects them. But also, like you said, secondhand, it affects their children, it affects their family, it affects their community, you know. And so thank you all for that. But then again, you know, to bring some positive and lightness to the stories as well, where you just are able to kind of reach everyone, you know. And so you are actually getting ready for season 2 of
Yeah.
African Twist. So
Mhm.
first of all, it's on Tubi, correct?
Yes, it is
Yes.
on Tubi nationwide. If there's some people that are like not in the country, there is a streaming app called Shine TV. It's a Roku-based app that people can go to and watch it outside the country as well. But it's a 10 episode series, so it's a nice binge watch.
Very good, very good. So you all make sure that you tune into African Twist again on Tubi, or for those of you that are out of the country, again, like he said, go to Shine. You know, it's a great message that they are sharing, but they are also doing a fundraiser right now, and the fundraiser is important because they are ready to bring you season 2. And I know with the fundraiser that you all were actually doing some things in connection to the fundraiser. So if people gave a certain amount,
Mhm.
or, you know, tell me a little about that, what the fundraiser is, what you all are trying to do, and then some of the giveaways that you have available.
Yeah, absolutely. So with the fundraiser, the crowdfunding for season 2, we're really wanting to make sure that this season is the best possible, best quality possible. A lot
Mm-hmm.
of times, when you're low on budget, you kind of compromise on the story that you're trying to tell
Right.
because of the break of the budget. This time, we don't want to leave any stone unturned. We want to be able to, tell the story as it should be, and raise the awareness as it should be raised, and in the quality that it should be made in as well. So
Absolutely.
yeah, so that's where the crowdfunding comes in. Is as they are, as you, the viewers, are contributing, you're helping with, being a part of raising that awareness and making this story continue on from season 1 and so forth. And like with the contribution, there are incentives, like you said, and there's some really
Mhm.
great incentives available. Some people, depending on how much you contribute, you get African Twist T-shirts and
Right.
signed posters. We already got posters signed and ready from the cast members. There's even opportunities to get on the set. You can actually, get on set either if you just want to come watch and see how it's done, or
Mhm.
we offer like get to be in the show. So depending on how much
Wow.
you donate, you'll get a chance to be on the show, get a walk on or a speaking role on season 2, and even get incentives like getting premiere tickets to see the premiere of the series. So it's definitely some great opportunity. Of course, aside from being blessed for blessing one of God's children, you
Yes.
get all these other great incentives as well for donating.
Yes, indeed. You know, that is so awesome. Who doesn't want to be on TV and their parents or family or loved ones or friends see them, you know? So you all are giving some great incentives. Like you said, the t-shirts, I would love an African Twist t-shirt, you know, and that's how you can show your love and support for Niels and Helen Williams. It is so important for us to give back to our community, even if you don't have money at this time because things have been hard. Spread the word about their show. Tell someone about it because maybe they can give. Maybe they will gain a new viewer. There are things that we can do. Say a prayer for them. You know what I'm saying? There are things that we can do besides just sitting back and saying, well, I don't have it. You know what I'm saying? There are so many other things um, that we can do in order to support. in order to support. So you guys are doing some great things. I just have a couple more questions for you, Niels. You have written and self-published several novels, written screenplays, and starred in some of your own works. These things have to take focus and discipline to complete. Tell me, because I need help in this area. You know what I'm saying? You know how you raise your hand when you in church and they say, if there's one, I'm like, I'm one. Neil, tell me how you balance all of these things and balance life at the same time. How?
You know what? It's only 24 hours in a day.
Yes.
So, I've learned that you just have to take advantage of every time that you have.
Yes.
Um, so and prioritize. What has to
Mhm.
take priority. Sometimes some things have to take a back seat in order for something to grow. What I've learned, one of these things I've learned was from listening to Tyler Perry on one of his
Mhm.
interviews. He said to water your plant. You can't
Mm.
expect to do everything because you're spreading too thin, and
Yep.
the plants won't grow because you're not nurturing one at a time. So of course, yeah, I do have the books that I wrote, but I had to take a hiatus on book writing because I'm working on films and scripting. So
Mhm.
that's in priority right now. Of course, I still will do it, when I have some free time. But like you said, it's a lot to juggle. I'm still working a 9 to 5 job on top of it all. So we just make time and prioritize. There are times where simultaneously while I'm working, I'm writing the script or I'm sending out contracts or I'm like writing out ideas, sometimes you just got to do something simultaneously because that's the only time you have. Or sometimes I make an effort to just get up early. A lot
Mhm.
of successful people get things done early. There's a reason why there's a saying, the early bird gets the worm. Because when you
Right.
get up early, you train yourself, you discipline yourself to get things done ahead of time, be ahead of everyone else. So just try to learn to do what most people won't do so you can have the life that most people do not have.
That's good stuff. That's good stuff. For me, the words that stuck out was some things will need to take a back seat in order for other things to grow. And then
Right.
you turned around and said you heard Tyler Perry talk about watering, the plants. And that is so important. And like you said, you used the big D word, discipline.
Hmm.
Discipline is so important. And it's hard for us sometimes. With social media, that's a whole job in itself. So, like you said, you have a 9 to 5, and then you have to come home and work in social media and try to push things for your show and get the attention of your crowdfunding and things like that. That's a whole nother level. You know what I'm saying? So there
Yeah.
are things that we may think is important right now, but you do have to prioritize. So I grabbed those nuggets. I grabbed them again, okay? And I'm going to apply them, tuck them away in my heart, okay?
Okay.
Tuck them away. I have my little sister watching all the way from Arizona. She said, hello, beautiful sister, tuned in. Thank you, Nelly, for watching. I love you so much. Thank you so much. So yes, indeed. Well, this has been awesome for me, and I know it has been for our audience as well. So I want to say thank you to those that are watching. Make sure that you share, not only about Talented Thursdays, but also about the talented individuals that I am bringing to you week after week after week. I am so grateful. And I believe that I found, dare I say, my purpose? You know what I'm saying? Like, dare
Mhm.
I say it? I think this is what God has truly called me to, not only to use my gift, but also to help advance and push the stories and the gifts of others, and they come here. I share with them, they share with me, and relationships and networks are made. And that is what is important as well. If you want to be in the entertainment industry, you have to network. And I don't mean fake networking. I don't mean you just nice to somebody because you think you're going to get a walk on role. I mean, actually caring about people,
Mhm.
asking, are you okay? If you have time, saying, what can I do for you? How can I support? It's not always a dollar. Yes, many of us are struggling today. But with that being said, there are so many other ways to support. He may need you to be grip one day. For those of you who don't know, that means, holding the cord and things when they got cameras, all of those things. We don't know what he may need, but there may be something that you can do. So avail yourself. And do you all know that the more we give of ourselves, we are reaping what we sow? So what you need will come back to you when you are a blessing to others. So I said all that to say thank you all so much for watching. Please continue to share. Please continue to like. Talented Thursdays have been so good to me and the people that have come back and said that they have been blessed by people such as my guest tonight, Niels. And I want to give a shout out to your wife. I wish she could have joined us tonight as well. I know she was
Yeah.
busy, but please tell her thank you for sharing her hubby on tonight because you have given us some great words and just inspiration. And that's what this platform is about. Let's see, I have one more comment from Chanel. She said, blessing, sister. Keep walking in your purpose. It's so amazing to see. Thank you. Thank you so much. That means a lot. It really does. Niels, before we end on tonight, do you have a positive word? Or do you have one more nugget that you want to drop? Or do you want, first of all, before you give your last words, please tell the people where they can go and donate or how they can contact you or Helen to help or to donate, whatever they can do, and to watch. To watch.
Mhm. Absolutely. So yes, you can follow myself on Facebook. It's Niels Williams. You can find as is written on the screen there is Niels Williams. You'll see the campaign for season 2 of African Twist link on my page is spread everywhere on the page, so it's not hard to find. My wife, you can also find her as well, Helen the Lobby Williams on Facebook as well. And definitely be sure to watch season 1. I'm sure a lot of you are probably like, well, I want to see season 1 before I can know what I'm putting my money into. So definitely watch season 1 on Tubi. It's called African Twist again. You won't be disappointed. You'll love it. It's a great show.
Absolutely, absolutely. It's already out there. That's what Niels is saying. That's what Antonio is telling you all on tonight, that it's already out there. So make sure, like you said, like he said, to binge it. I mean, y'all got some free weeknights or weekends. Go ahead and watch African Twist so you could tell somebody about it and get ready to donate to our brother and sister. All right. So, Niels, with that being said, what would you like to say to maybe someone who needs a little inspiration, maybe to that up and coming little Neo that may be watching? How will you encourage someone to keep pushing in whatever gift God has given them, whether it's entertainment? Most people that watch this show, it is entertainment, but whatever their gift is, how would you encourage either little Neo or someone coming up that wants to be in entertainment to keep going?
Just have faith. Faith is the biggest thing. Faith is a weapon.
Mm,
That's the thing that no one can take away from you. No matter what it is that you want to do with your life or career, keep that faith, keep that vision. Because one thing that no one can kill is a vision. They can't kill a vision or a faith. Because when you have that and you're locked in on it, you're unstoppable. So don't be moved by any no's or challenges. If anyone is trying to keep you down or tell you that you can't do it, it's only because they can't do it themselves. But have faith and believe that you can, because you can't be everybody else, but no one can be you. So
mm. That is good. No one can be you. You know, I have heard people say that God didn't make us carbon copies of each other. You know what I'm saying? And I
Right.
try to encourage people, whatever your gift is, like you said, no one can be you. People say, you know, oh, where is 1,000 hairstylists? There's a million braiders. There's a billion barbers. But who can do it like you? You know what
Right.
I'm saying? Like, who has your style? Who has your take on things? Who has your personality? Who has the spirit that God has given into you? And it's
Mm.
so important that we share. You know what I'm saying? Each one, like they say, each one reach one, each one teach one. We are all here for a purpose and a plan. And this world is so broad and so just large that I
Mhm.
can't touch everybody.
Right.
Meals can't touch everybody. So we all have to do our work to make sure that everybody is blessed by somebody, right?
Right.
Yes, indeed. Amen. Thank you so much, Niels, for joining me on tonight. You have been a great guest. And again, I appreciate you for your yes. To those of you that are watching from either YouTube, or you may be listening on Vegas Praise, or you're watching here on Facebook tonight, thank you. I appreciate you all every time you tune in. I promise you, this platform sometimes can be challenging, just the technology side of things. But I'm doing what I love and I'm doing it to the best of my ability until I get to the next level. Because, like Neil said, it takes faith. And I do have that faith the size of a mustard seed that
Mhm.
this is only the beginning. One day I'm gonna have a studio, y'all. I'm telling you, it's gonna be somebody to record me. So all I have to do is interview my guests. Neil, if all I had to do was interview my guests, I tell you, it'll be a piece of cake because that's what I enjoy. But I got to do it all. I'll be like, Lord, what am I going? But it always works together. He said, all things work together for the good of those who love the Lord and are called according to his purpose. And I know that's why we have been blessed. And that's why those of you out there who are doing his work are being blessed as well. So, again, thank you for watching. If you're interested in being a guest on Talented Television or Talented Thursdays, make sure you email me at talentedtelevision@gmail.com. Now, there are those of you that I have reached out to individually, but also just reach out to me. You know what I'm saying? I'm a happy go lucky person. And you already know what this format is like. If you think that you would fit this format or someone that you know, please reach out. Also, sponsorships and donations are so important to keep platforms like this, shows like African Twist, going. Okay. So we need you all. I'm telling you, if you would like to donate to Talented Television or Talented Thursdays to see more episodes, to do bigger things, to help me get to that studio, all you have to do is email me and let me know at talentedtelevision@gmail.com. I think that's it. I ain't got nothing else tonight. I want to say blessings to you, Niels, and to your lovely wife, or should I call you Antonio? I told you I'll go back and forth. Antonio, Niels, Niels, Antonio. Blessings to you for sure, for coming on. I wish you all continual success. Continue running over for African Twist and the other projects that you all have coming, that God is still even developing in you. And I know you said you had a script that you wanted to turn into a movie that hasn't come forth as of yet. I declare and decree that it's going to be birthed forth as well. So I
Amen.
wish you all the best. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Please, let's stay connected. Any final words from you?
No, just God bless you, Kimberly, for giving me this platform to speak on what we do. And I know that, I'm going to bring it back to you and ask that God blesses you in your endeavors and
Thank you.
that you will exceed far more than you expected or imagined, and that God will continue to favor you and you will have all that you need because you're doing God's work and you're using this platform for God's purpose. So when you seek God first, everything else will be added on to you. So I know that everything
Amen.
will out for you. But yeah, I just want to thank you so much for this.
Thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate your words. I receive them. And that's it, y'all. We done for the night. So make sure again, that you subscribe to Talented Thursday or Talented Television. I'm sorry, on YouTube. That you follow me on TikTok. Make sure that you follow Niels Williams. Also, Helen. Is it a lobby?
A lobby, yeah.
Yes, Helen Alabi Williams as well. Make sure you all are following them. That's all we got for you tonight. Wait a minute. Make sure you download Vegas Praise. That's important too. That's it, y'all. We out of here. Have a great evening. God bless each and every one of you. Bye.